Alright, what's up yins guys? And I'm gonna make another one of these videos, which in some cases I'd almost invite my girlfriend to just like while I'm yammering all this shit in her ear, just sneak and record it, and then I'll have made a better video than when I actually sit here and go and say I'm gonna turn this camera on and make a video, and it would be a better fucking video. Really, because I yammer in her ear and I say it way better than I do in these videos. I end up deleting the shit, trying to make it a combination of not so fucking long and trying to get to the point. But I'm going to try to give you some references first to where I'm getting this. I'm trying to make this case for how you shouldn't just listen to anybody. Don't totally commit, but yet have your best influences to make an argument of something that, like, we were once something else, or maybe once somewhere else. And okay, like, before you commit into any belief in being a total vegan and not eating no meat, and then don't mean you want to be an asshole and just think everything is just kill and eat. But at the same time, I want to tell you how every single creature at the same time was going after everything and eating. Because there's a video I want to put in parentheses the story of your enslavement, which, if you watch it, says about how every creature was wired to dominate the resources, and you had human farming. But I want to talk more about, like, make a reference for. I'll just invite you to look at a YouTube channel, Jonesy's Jukebox, with Glenn Danzig, and how he was talking about the Earth was a living thing. Well, he's saying the Earth is a living thing, excuse me, and then it wants to rebalance itself and all that. We, in this case, could be a disease, and how we have all these things going on. And I wanted to make my case with not totally committing to fanatical Christianity or fanatical environmentalism or fanatical veganism, which I was trying to say for this environmentalist thing, that some of it's half true, in a sense, because I made reference to my all-time favorite vintage, now it's a vintage video game where we can have a cataclysm. And I wanted to make it, like, fair, that without being a Christian fanatic or without rebelling against mommy and daddy, totally committing to Aleister Crowley beast thing. I've made videos about that, which I should delete and make better. Keep in mind, okay, too, I wanted to make references to things like Clint Eastwood, because why I'm saying about Clint Eastwood, because he had like this orangutan named Clyde. You know, you see, I'm trying to establish that, and then a show called BJ and the Bear, you know, with a chimp, okay? You know, how animals have these personalities, your dog, your cat, even fucking bats. I want to invite you too to a YouTube channel called Mega Batty, where people have these bats as pets. And you have fruit bats, and then you have these vampire bats, and you got bats that, like, there's a John Carpenter movie, a giant bat. Or you could have some bats like in video games, apocalyptic video games, or something on the order of Pitch Black. It's not necessarily a bat that can come out and eat you or whatever the fuck, you know. But okay, you have those, and then you had Glenn Danzig. Back to Glenn Danzig, Jonesy's Jukebox again. He said he was looking at this one nature show one time, and yes, and this made me go look up this shit. And I found on Vice where people were going on this island, and don't go there. These chimps, one guy was like, why you want to go there for? They will eat you. So Glenn Danzig was talking about, he saw this nature show, right, that these monkeys were grabbing these other monkeys from the trees and ripping them apart and just eating them. So you have that. Every creature, every person, every human being, every different race, whether it's against their own, dominant on their own, or others dominate the resources. But yet you got ones that if they hang with us enough, they become, you know, they play fetch, you know, and they're beg for a treat, and things like that. And when I was looking at Glenn Danzig talking, I went and looked this up, and you see this fucking monkey, and it's eating the carcass, like taking the meat off a carcass, just like we were to eat a rotisserie chicken, you know, and just what's left. Like, holy fuck! And these monkeys, and even these chimpanzees, when one doesn't conform to a third thing, these monkeys have lynchings. They'll kill and eat one of their own. And then you had this thing when I was watching River Monsters that Papua New Guinea used to have a legacy of cannibalism where you didn't follow a rule. I think that if you practiced the magic or did any kind of thing that was was a sin, so to speak, or a wrong in their eyes, your punishment was to be killed and eaten. But yet they had other kind of reasons. But yet, so I'm looking at all this shit, you know what I mean? And what I'm trying to say here is that to build my case where whether you believe in some Judaic religion or you like a Christianity or any kind of thing to look, there is enough of room to believe that maybe everything was, you know, other animals were associated with human beings and everything was in harmony, whether you want to believe in Adam and Eve. Maybe there was some kind of fall, right? And that then all of a sudden, you know, the predatory nature, there was some kind of fall and the predatory nature came into being, you know what I mean? And the fact that we have these relationships with animals that they'll even try to talk back to you now, almost like that in itself can be that there was once a fall and there's a point where, I don't know, environmentalists or animal people, you don't want to call them crazy. It's still not perfect now. Yet, you know, almost there's like a return that could happen if you want to believe that after this life or you was once something else, or that, hey, we only live to be so fucking long to start with, right? That there's either levels of purgatory, some other out there where I read the book of Enoch where there's a separate place in the great beyond for animals and cattle. They won't see judgment, so to speak, but they will all accuse man. I mean, I had people in religions believe in me, Christianity, just because I read the book of Enoch and the little Genesis Jubilees. That, oh my God, that is so wrong. But then there's Christians on YouTube that use it. But it's all how you're getting your information. And there's this thing where you get your dog or cat, like my mother had this German Shepherd, it would rather play than eat. But then I'm looking at these things that, yes, they are wrong. There are some amazing things that people can do in animals and circuses. But then you find out, too, that it's not, it takes too long to train some of these animals the way you think they'd be trained. They do whip them and beat them. And then you want to put in parentheses in your heads without me jumping subject too much. You ever see the History Channel, the Sang Soo or whatever, they say some of our military were following the ideals. Where you had your real life, if your kid's watching this anime, right, but you had these real life martial arts anime thing. And to put in the back of your head somewhere, what if say in the days of maybe Enoch, when Enoch knew Noah, what if you had these Nephilim or somewhere that taught these people how to use, make swords, armor, and knives? What if you really had these angels that were teaching things like got with the daughters of man and teaching the offspring? Like, what if you had a real Lord Shoshomaru or something that was a real motherfucker or something? You know what I mean? Put that in the back of your head. But anyway, the Sang Soo guy, like the real, literally wanted to make his point. He ordered, like, these were just, I think, common, you know, girls and all that, and tell them, okay, you are going to learn to do this or else. And they kind of laughed and like he was kidding. And just to make his points, just, okay, off with their head. And the other ones, okay, you're going to do what I say, and literally, I guess, turn people into soldiers, martial arts, you know. But we have a thing in our thing, a right to bear, whether it's some kind of thing with hands or weapons. You know, before you had guns, you had bows, arrows, swords. There was, when man started getting more evolved, you had this thing where people were more apish and cavemanish, but you had people that wanted to innovate. You know, starting out with claim old sticks and clubs, dancing around fires and torches. And they had their, what do you call them, superstitions, or maybe shapeshifters, or some things real, any kind of indigenous belief where something would invade their camp or whatever, and then everything from wendigos to werewolves, beasts out there that. Um, and then stories like if you commit cannibalism, you'll turn into this wendigo. But anyway, back to what I was actually trying to say there. There's proof even in your pets. Okay, I was trying to say that Megatherion theory of people's Aleister Crowley, where these kids just want to sit in their computers and don't even have an open mind and try to say what I'm trying to say. Get up and physically do something, even though you're not the beast. You know, you got to always be looking into shit. You know what I mean? Because, well, you even can all these different things to your pets and even bats. Like, they'll eat each other, tear these things apart. And I was trying to make a case that you can, if you want to, nothing wrong with it. You know that there's something that's going to be later on in another life that you won't need to eat any meat anymore. That go ahead, be a vegan and all that, but don't attack people that eat meat too much. And not that you're looking to kill and eat every single thing, you know, because some of us have pets too, and everything else. But yet you had the ancient medieval kind of things, you know, Vikings and different people. They ate dog meat. But yet you had feral dogs that would attack you and try to eat you anyway. And I'm trying to make reference to, you had monkeys and chimps and different things that were TV personalities, right? Really cool and awesome. BJ and the Bear, Clint Eastwood, every which way but loose, right turn, Clyde. But yet you had monkeys that will attack, and you the island where you can have these bunches of, where you look at these different monkeys on there that out there in deep jungle, they'll get in gangs, and even smaller ones, they'll eat you and bite you. And then you had that story where that one woman had that pet chimp, and her one friend was over there. The woman got her face and her eyes ripped out, and she hardly has maybe 2 fingers on each hand. And last time I looked, they give her a total face transplant, a successful face transplant, but yet she's blind, she don't got no eyes, she can't see the result. But yet there's an innovation, you know, eventually, you know, you can give people new eyes, which then I want to say in another video that this triggered a topic where too much damn shit I'd have to say in another video, where I did say in a video that didn't hardly get any views, but these different people out there, everybody from Hitler to different where they wrote the real life Dracula and Frankenstein, there was people experimenting, doing really gruesome things to try to, and it's a part of, I like the modern medicine, the part that you can give people arm and hand transplants that got their hands blown off, and all new things are going on. But not that I'm against it, it's really cool, and people were doing crazy experiments on animals, which is gruesome. But there was people fucking doing it against people. Everybody from H.H. Holmes, go look him up, and Hitler, you story what he was doing. I'm definitely not anti-Jew, but I don't condone. I'm not anti-Jew and I'm not pro-Hitler, but not just Hitler. There was all kind of different people that were doing this shit. And even though I think our modern innovations where you can give somebody hands again, it's all coming and everything, but then there are people that trying to make you into cyborg too, which is another story. What I'm basically saying is all your modern stuff that's really cool came from some really fucked up shit. And there's a part of me, like I said, that I always believed in what my grandmother used to tell me, that she said that she wants to die when it's her time. She don't want to be like that old man that she was talking about. She told me about some old man just to live a few more years, get a heart of a 20-year-old girl. But if somebody wants to donate their organs to somebody that they know close to them, do it. Keep it in the family. To save the life of somebody you know. You want to donate a kidney or part of a liver. Somebody you know real well first, at the very least. Don't just so somebody can make a whole killing, make a bunch of bucks. Well, yeah, the person that does the transplant wants to make a lot of money, but yet they're saving a life too. It's a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? But yeah, a lot of that did come from some really gruesome shit. You know what I mean? And like, there's nothing wrong with offering. If you want to offer your organs to save a life. You know what I mean? But somebody makes a lot of money off of that too. And there's a spooky thing where if you might be still alive and you have a chance in life, that they want to harvest your organs. Don't tell anybody, act like you were going to die anyway. And The minute you have that organ sticker, some fucking buddy might, do that. But yet, I believe myself to a point where if you could get a second chance, but if you were some asshole that just did everything you want, do all these drugs and all these alcohol, what do you do? Do you do the noble thing and maybe accept your death, or accept some liver or something so you have a better chance in life and try to warn people, hey, nothing wrong with drinking, but alcohol could make you a slave, and don't act like you're some person entitled to somebody else's liver after you recklessly fucked your life up. But that's up to you if you have your own convictions. Like I myself don't. Like I said, they said in an Iron Maiden song, if you're gonna die, you're gonna die. I don't think that I'm entitled to anybody's heart or liver or kidneys or any kind of things. Or else too, that if I thought I was gonna get some kind of disease, I'd probably want to go down arrogant as hell and say some really smug shit that what I really think. You know what I mean? And, hey, and then say in my last days, hey, you're cool, fuck you and fuck you and fuck you. But I'm just throwing all this random shit together. It could be separate videos, but I'm trying to say there's like proof that, hey, every single creature, what if you were somewhere else? And I'm trying to say that maybe there was once where every creature got along, so to speak. But, oh yeah, I'm trying to think too that this fall, whatever you want to believe in, that there's a fall, not only created the predatory instinct and the exploiting instinct, every creature wanted to exploit the resources and eat each other, created the mortality and the limited life expectancy. And then to have the mortality, you had this quirk in this whole flaw in this creation came to being, where not only people procreated, but they procreated too fast. You can make a definite what is irresponsible. You call it fornication or getting it on, so to speak. People all over the world, there's poverty over population, and people are not just breeding victims. You can't say the woman ain't allowed to say no, and there's people just raping everybody. I feel like in all these countries, you get all these kids going around and all in poverty and not enough to feed them. And hey, in our country can be the same way to make it fair. And everything else too, not only just creating diseases. You want to throw in the parentheses that bridge of size, where back in you had that problem, people were tossing babies into a canal. I saw this on the classical crossover part in my mind. I was looking at a video called Vivaldi's Women, where Antonio Vivaldi was a teacher in this home established by this, I think it was a Franciscan friar. I'm saying it out of memory. I don't want to be totally correct. He was salvaging all these babies, and then there was women that were really, really great voices, but they were behind a silhouette or something. They were all ugly women because real good voices, but they were all ugly because of the ugly fact that people messed around certain ways. They got deformed. But yet, well, anyway, I'm trying to throw in parentheses that, look at all the fucking shit that they did in Roman times, and even when evolved into Catholicism, and then you had the barbarians over here. Some converted into Christianity. They didn't like the Catholics. Look at that Barbarian series on the History Channel. I'm having my head like one of these barbarians that converted to Christianity because he was almost going to figured he's going to die. And says, I guess the woman that he had is his unwilling wife or whatever, gave him a cross to take with him, and he didn't care about Christianity. He says, oh, if you let his time was almost up. He says, if I pray and say, if you let me win this battle, I will believe in you. So conversion came just because of that. It's just not to push anything on anybody either way, but hey, that Christianity on this side was born. You had the Catholics and Christians fighting each other, everybody exploiting the resources. Coming out of the Dark Ages, everybody was hatchet murderers. They ate dog meat, they killed and ate each other, and people are gradually evolving from this Dark Ages thing They're still killing each other, but they're establishing armies, becoming more civilized, and they're creating music and culture, but yet it wasn't. But yet, Henry Rollins once said in his Everything video, "Oh, all these people that were doing all this thing, taking slaves, killing different things, and yeah, 30 Aztecs. Oh, all these people were primiges and savages, nothing like us. And then you got, hey, we're supposed to be all civilized, but yet we got people in a world that ain't. Murderous cunts, whether it's people worship Che Guevara, but like I agree with Joe Rogan. He was a ruthless cunt. Fuck him. I mean, you don't want committed socialism or communism. You don't want committed capitalism, which is totally mob run. And yet at the same time in capitalism, you're supposed to have laws against monopolies. Oh no, that's just a sneak peek of other shit I want to talk about in videos, but this fucking video is 21 minutes long. Shit. I'm just basically talking between the lines and parentheses, but anyway, what you should be getting out of this, that everything you look about certain creatures you got, yes, they're adorable. They want to play fetch and ball because they become like us because they're around us, and you domesticate them from a baby. But then when we're hanging around our dogs and cats, we act. I wanted to get into that too. I should have said earlier in the video where you become almost like the animal, and so to speak. Look at Turner and Hooch, Tom Hanks eating a dog biscuit. All right, that's it for this video.